Harihi Om Tats. Harihi Om Tats. Jai Guru. You already know the place and importance of Bhagavad Geeta. It contains 700 verses divided into 18 chapters. It begins with a confession from Arjuna that, my dear Krishna, I am suffering from narrowness of outlook. I am thoroughly confused with regard to what I am to do, but I would like to have everlasting goodness and elevation in my life. Please instruct me so that I shall be able to achieve this. I am your disciple and you are my Guru. So instruct me as any good Guru will instruct a devoted disciple. So mark this point. I am suffering from the narrowness of outlook. The words Arjuna used are Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha. My nature has been overpowered by the constriction called Karpanya. In answer, it became a prolonged dialogue extending up to 18 chapters. Many chapters begin with a question from Arjuna, and the last chapter, 18th, also does equally so. The questions Arjuna raises in the last chapter is this. Perhaps many people do not know that this is so and the importance of the enquiry. Sannyasasya mahabaho tattvamichhami vedidum tyagasya cha hrishikesha prithak keshi nishudana. This is what Arjuna said. I would like to know very clearly and in a distinct manner, Krishna, the meaning, relevance and application of sannyasa and tyaga. The entire Bhagavad Gita speaks and delineates only tyaga and sannyasa. Krishna is imparting the art and the process of living in this world, abandoning, renouncing. Renouncing what is the important question. Krishna does not refer to renouncing anything externally, but he speaks everything about renouncing internally. It is primarily desires, secondly possessiveness, thirdly the very ego. When these things are renounced, you will be able to live comfortably, happily, successfully and effectively. The word sannyasa was used by Krishna right from the 3rd chapter, and it had occurred on several occasions. Now, Arjuna wants a greater definition with clarity and precision about sannyasa and tyaga. The entire world, in one way or the other, is troubling us. If you want to live in this world without trouble, without conflict and disharmony, you must have the power and enrichment of renunciation. Now, taking up the subject in a very thorough manner, Krishna says, in human life, there are 3 important tenets, 3 important practices, disciplines, which should always be there, clung to, preserved and pursued. What are they? Yajna, Daana and Tapas. So Krishna speaks of 3, Yajna, Daana and Tapas. Yajna is any action or interaction which you do in dedication to the Supreme Lord Providence. That Supreme Lord is the Paramatma in you, the Parameshwara of the world. It is called Atma, Brahman and God. Whatever you do as an offering to the Supreme is called a yajna. But the Supreme remains invisible here. So it is a unilateral action. When it comes to Dana, it is not unilateral. It is bilateral. You have to part with your belongings for the inevitable use of the others. Anything becomes a Dana when you offer things belonging to you or bought by you by virtue of your own earnings, and you lovingly give them to those who are not connected to you with blood or matrimony. Suppose you look after your son and spend money on him. It is not a dana. Suppose you buy an article for use of your brother-in-law or maybe brother, sister, nephew, niece, etc. So, certainly it is not dana. Dana becomes so only when you are giving something which you are not generally otherwise bound to give as a matter of duty, like looking after one's own blood and matrimonial relations. So that is why I am very particular in emphasizing the taker should be not belonging to the orbit of blood and matrimony. And how should you give? You should give it with loving words of dedication and humility. I would like you to receive what I give. I am lovingly giving this. Please make use of these materials in your life. By so doing, I shall be very happy and feel blessed and enriched. Our good danas are made chanting Veda mantras. Veda mantras are very sanctifying, and such mantras are uttered while giving dana. So you can imagine the sublimity, the divinity, the devotional character of dana. In our society, particularly in India, we have not reached a state of societal affluence. A number of people are still starving, they are undernourished, they are underprivileged, not all people have jobs. So everybody needs some kind of a help or the other. And all of you should feel happy that there is an opportunity to give. Suppose nobody is prepared to take from you. How will you make this dana? But this dana is an important ingredient in the matter of spiritually, religiously and otherwise enriching, sublimating and elevating your inner personality. Dana becomes bilateral because you are giving the material things to somebody for his or her use, and the other party receives it lovingly from you. The others are getting the material part of it, and you are getting the spiritual enrichment in the process. In both ways it is immensely benedictory, helpful and enriching. Now this kind of an instantaneous fruition of a religious act cannot be seen in any other sphere. Suppose you perform a havan or you perform a great puja in honor of God. You are doing it lighting a lamp or igniting fire. And whatever materials you offer into the fire will burn and reduce it into ashes. You can only see the ashes there. Suppose you do puja, the flower will remain there, the oil will be burnt off, and whatever nivedya you offer, you yourself will have to take it back and make use of it. The other party always is invisible and infinitely distant. So we have a contentment that I have done puja, that's all. But here, right in front of your eyes you see, the materials are given. As they are given, the word give means somebody should take, then only giving becomes meaningful or complete. So the others receive it. That is what Krishna says, Yajna, Dana and Tapas. Yajna is very holy, Dana is equally holy, and there is Tapas also. All these are of equal status. And this triple, this constitutes the very dharma. In every yuga, in every society, at every time, in every household, these three should not be left at all. So while defining Tyaga, he says, there are many things to be given, but these items should not be renounced. In fact, in Yajna itself is a Tyaga. Dana is also a Tyaga, and Tapas also is a Tyaga. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru.